Hi guys. I decided to make this video today to kind of reflect. It's been about a week since I uploaded my last video. I probably won't post this for another couple of weeks because I don't have Wi-Fi. It's about December. What is today? December something. 19th. No, 8. Yeah, 19th. December 19th. It's almost Christmas. Yay. Um, and I'm sorry if I pause. I'm kind of had a lot of migraines this week, so I'm kind of really out of it still. But I decided to post or make this video because I've had time to reflect on my last video, and I've had people talk to me about whatever's going on. And basically, I just want to say, so for people who get annoyed because people tend to not necessarily make fun of their disability, but put it in a sense of humor. If that offends you because you have a disability, I apologize. That's not the intent of it. It's just some people don't know what to do. Me personally, I my family's generally pretty accepting of my blindness. My immediate family is. My extended family is not so accepting. They don't understand how do I go up steps, how do I take elevators all the time, stuff like that. So it's kind of annoying. And so growing up, I didn't have any blind friends really. I had a couple, but they were so far away that we didn't talk. I went to the blind school for like 8 years, but I went like on occasion. It wasn't like every day or anything like that. I didn't get to talk to these people that much, and I really wasn't in the group. I mean, I was kind of, but I wasn't all that popular with them. Mainly because I was lacking in technology skills. I wasn't that popular with them. So not having that popularity among the blind people or the sighted people kind of made me an outcast among both groups. Yes, I was kind of in the group with the blind people because I was blind, but, you know, I wasn't on equal footing because I didn't have that independent skills. I didn't have the technology skills. I literally just learned how to type my sophomore year of high school, which by then I had lost a lot of my blind friends. I'm slowly getting back into the blindness friends kind of thing, but now it's kind of like, okay, it doesn't really matter too much anymore. Um, yeah. So, the whole point is that growing up, your only choice is either cry or laugh, so I chose laugh. And, a lot of people always assumed that when I got around my blind friends, I always had a tendency to make them laugh, like, a lot. And it wasn't even anything I was doing on intentionally, like, I didn't go around making them laugh. I didn't decide, oh, I'm gonna make them laugh today. It was just me being me, and that's just how I was. You know, I didn't, like, intentionally do anything stupid or anything like that. I didn't exploit the opportunity, I just was being me. And, that kind of helped me a lot. I felt like I belonged to that group only because I made them laugh. And so I think I went through a lot of depression during that time. I couldn't really feel it then because, when you're 9, 10 years old, you don't really understand depression and all that. But as I got older in high school, this video, sorry, totally went like from my ideas, but sorry. But as I got older into high school and I stopped going to the school for the blind, because I got into show choir, I was like, okay, cool, I'll be in show choir. I might actually fit in with this group because it's singing and it's dancing, but I can learn it, and people might actually invite me to do stuff, and they didn't, which was sad. But I'm sorry for those of you who get annoyed because I post these videos about me. Maybe I'm annoying you because I may not express my disability in the way that you would prefer me to. Um, like I'm not going to be sad about it, but I'm not going to express all the joys of it. I'm going to show you all sides. And one of those sides is the humor of it. I have friends who literally, and this might offend you guys, but he has one hand. Uh, he has sorry, my dad was a cop, and so he has radio over there, so I was just listening to what they said. Um, he has one hand, and it didn't grow whenever he was born, so he has a stumpy. He calls it stumpy. And so for Halloween one year, he went as a one-handed soldier, and he kept saying, "Oh, my mom cut it off, my mom cut it off," and people got offended. They were like, "Oh my gosh, that's horrible. You're exploiting your disability. Oh my gosh." And for a long time, I went around telling people that I got blind because of soap poisoning from the movie The Christmas Story, and people actually believed me, so that was pretty good. Because me being me, like I have to make make some joys out of it, because honestly, depression really sucks, and you know, I have to find some joy, and if that's the kind of joy that I need sometimes just to get that uh you know undepressingness, then that I'll take it. Um, honestly, some of these people, it wasn't people that didn't know me. I wouldn't do that to people. And that's the whole thing with the prank thing that I did the other week. These people knew me, and that's what hurt the most, is they knew me. They literally had lived with me for 8 months. No, not 8 months. Sorry, 5 months, 4 months. They have seen me walking around campus. They knew me, and they actually believed it. And I was like, "Are you stupid?" And that's what hurt. And they actually talked to me like I was a person, and that's what bothered me the most, is they treated me like a human, and before that they treated me like crap. And I'm not afraid to say that. Some of them did not. Some of them actually treated me like a person before, but all of a sudden, when you don't have a disability, they treat you more like a person, and not like a child, and um, not like you're nothing, pretty much. And I will admit, I have a lot of anger about that. I'm still kind of getting over not just those people, but like my whole life. You know, uh, just a lot of things with school. Growing up, I never got invited to a lot of things. I sometimes get jealous of my blind friends now, because I see them and they're like, "Oh, well, I'm going to a dance. I'm going to this and that." I'm like, I just kind of walk away, because I'm like, I'm glad. I'm super glad for them because they have the opportunity. But I'm also very upset because I'm like, I never had that opportunity, and no one ever took that opportunity to invite me to do things. And a lot of people said it was my own fault because I never pushed myself out there. And even though I did push myself out there, I never got invited. I'm not the type of person that pushes myself onto people. I don't do that. Sorry, I keep saying a lot. I don't like to force myself onto people. I'm not like, "Hey, let's go to such and such place." If I don't know you, I'm not gonna be like, "Hey, let's go to the Walmart. Do you wanna drive me?" That's rude. So in that aspect, I'm not that great. But growing up in a small town, you don't do that. Growing up in a small town, and being the only blind person, you kind of get pushed off to the side. You're not considered important. You're not considered worthy, I guess, of their respect. That sounds really harsh, but that's the way it is, and I hate to be rude, but growing up in this small town and then leaving and going to college, where people actually treat me decently. I'm not saying that growing up in a small town was crappy, but it certainly wasn't ideal. I don't know how to use public transportation. I mean, the first time I got in a taxi cab, I freaked out because I didn't know what to do. I was like, "Okay, how does this work? Do I give the money now, or do I wait? How much does this cost? How much do I tip? Do I tip them? What is the tip?" I didn't know what to do. The first time I got on a city bus, I didn't know what to do because I've never been on a city bus. I was like, okay, this is weird. So it's like what the heck? The first time I saw one of those audio pedestrian signals, I had a panic attack. I was like, crap, what do I do? And the first time I did one of those, I was at Leader Dogs for the Blind, which was totally awesome. When I go there, I'm going to make another video about that. It was life-changing. And they were like, oh, you just crossed like a regular street. And I was like, I can't, it's beeping at me. And I freaked out because I heard this voice behind me. It was like, wait. And I was like, I am. I was like, oh, wait, it's a voice. It's not a person. But they had a good laugh. Because, me coming from a small town, I've never seen one of those. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's real. So, this past summer and this semester has been a lot of growth for me, personally. But, emotionally I've grown a lot too. And I'm still struggling, honestly. I don't think I'll ever get over it. The whole anger and depression. I hope so. But I don't know, I'd like to say I would, but I don't know. That video, sorry, I just totally went, like, way over what I was planning on saying. Yeah, I'm sorry, too, the glare might be confusing, because I have the TV on, too. We didn't just get it, but we got a new remote for the TV, and I don't know how to work it, so I'm kind of ready to turn it off, because I don't know how to turn it back on. So, don't want to turn it off. Let's see here. Oh, let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much all. The one thing I would like to say, is I'm sorry if I offend anybody about these videos, but, that's just me. People have been commenting, and some of you haven't commented, but some of you have found me and said some rude things, and I'm like, hey, that's just me, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch my channel, you don't have to subscribe. Thank you for subscribing to I think I'm up to 6, so woo, better than 1. But thank you to the one who did subscribe. But yeah, you don't have to watch my channel if you don't like it. I hate to be rude, but that's how it is. And I know there's people out there who don't appreciate my sense of humor with my blindness. But, this is me. And I'm sorry if I offend you, but growing up in a small town, like I said, not having all the opportunities that some of you blind people out there did have, and you may think that I'm bragging because I have all this stuff, all my technology, but, no. Honestly, I wouldn't be here without my scholarships and my anything. God. So, thanks God, because honestly, I wouldn't be here without that, without my scholarships, determination, and a lot of humor, because honestly, if I would have, been I was depressed, but if I would have, shown my depression, instead of my humor to people, they'd been like, okay, something's wrong with you, goodbye, and I'd have been like, okay, you're right, but you have to, not necessarily hide your depression, because it's horrible, don't hide your depression, but, I don't know, don't hide it, but, I don't know, but see, I'm a positive person, like I mentioned earlier in my other videos, so, I just I learned to grow and become me more. So, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. I'm sorry. I'm struggling right now. Trying to think of the words. Come on, words, don't fail me. Basically, if you're struggling with this whole depression thing and your disability and you're newly blinded, or maybe you're blind your whole life and you're just really struggling right now, or maybe not even blind, you maybe just have a disability of some kind or other, don't hide it, because the world's gonna see no matter what you do, and I know it's hard because you really want to hide it, because you're just like, I'm gonna fit in, and it sucks, because they're gonna notice a lot, and the more you hide it, the more they're gonna notice, but, you gotta laugh at yourself, it's better than crying. Sometimes you do have to cry. It's okay to cry. Honestly, I learned that the hard way. It is okay to cry, and don't bottle it up, because if you do, it comes out in a giant sob, and you're in the middle of a class, and you're just sobbing, and you're like, okay. I did not do that, but it will happen eventually, trust me. So don't bottle it up, but eventually let it out. And if humor is the way to let it out, I mean, look at Drew Lynch. I don't know if you guys know Drew Lynch, but he's a comedian on YouTube, and he also does. He did America's Got Talent, and he went up there on AGT. Uh, he posted his thing, and it was like, he sends his ex-girlfriend a CD, and she was like, well, sends it back, and she goes, it skips. And the audience was like, didn't say anything for a few minutes, and they were like cracking up because they realized that he was making a joke about his stuttering because, he stutters, by the way. So it's like, oh my gosh, he just said that. And then it's like, oh wait, that's okay, we can laugh because, like, he said it so serious, and it's like, it's okay, it's okay to laugh and to enjoy people's disabilities. I mean, I enjoy mine a lot. Like, it's funny because, like, I laugh a lot at people, whenever I meet people the first time, because they'll stick their hands out and they won't say anything. And then I'm just, like, standing there and I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. And they're like, hi, and they stick their hands out. And I know this later because I'm like, after they talk to me and they're comfortable with me. And then they walk away. And I come back to them and I'm like, oh, well, by the way, I'm blind. They're like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh, no, you're good. You're good. I just didn't know you had your hand out, It's just funny because people don't know what to do. And I've had people do a lot of really stupid things. It's funny to me. And it's embarrassing for them, but it's really funny. Trying to think of some really good ones. Oh, so it's really funny when people know me. So, like, my sister's friend, she was at my house one time and they were painting their fingernails. And she walked up to me and she goes, you like my fingernails? And I was like, well, sure, they look pretty. And I touched her fingernails and she was like, well, yeah, what do you think? They look fine? I was like, yeah, they feel great. They have all these nice, they're round, and because I thought she was filing them too, I was like, oh, they look all smooth and nice. She was like, yeah, but look. And so she puts them up in front of my face, and I was like, what am I seeing? And she was like, my fingernails. And I was like, okay. She was like, yeah, what do you think? And I was like, well, they look a little, spotted. She was like, oh, I guess I better go paint them again. And so she turns around and she goes and paints them again. I was like, hey, come here. She was like, what? And I brought one of my canes and I was like, hey, do you need this? She was like, what? And I was like, you know me. Can you not see that I'm blind? She was like, oh. She was like, oh, well, I forgot that you were blind. And I was like, well, you asked me to look at your fingernails. And you asked me if I liked the color. And she knows I can't see color. Like, this is a person that had known me for like 3 years, guys. So it's not like I was doing it on purpose. She knows me. Um, I've had people put pictures of my face and they're like, what do you think of this guy? Is he hot? And I'm like, well, yeah, he looks awesome. And they're like, and then I ask questions, like, does he have a beard and all this? And they're like, well, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't know. He has a really nice long beard, and I go on, and it's really funny. Yeah, I really enjoy my blindness, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody. Sometimes people get offended by it, but it's just me. That's how I do things. Honestly, I wanted to make people comfortable with my blindness. I don't know how to do that besides humor. So one of my introductions to college, I wanted to do this, but I couldn't because I was too stressed out the first week. But I wanted to take a fake fish and a bowl of water, put this fish in there, and walk around all the floors and say, "Hey guys, look at my pet fish." And I wanted to see how many of them would say anything about blindness, because how many people are honestly going to tell a blind person that they have a fake fish or a dead fish? Because if it's a fake fish, it'll either float or sink. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if a fake fish floats, but if a dead fish floats, does a dead fish float? I don't know. I think a dead fish might sink. I don't know. I never had a fish. But anyway, by the way, a fish would be like a horrible pet for a blind person because, you can't see it. It's like swimming around and it's like, is it dead? I don't know. Anyway, so that's why I was going to have a fish, because I want to see how many people could tell a blind person that the fish was either dead or fake. And it was going to be sort of a joke, but also sort of like an icebreaker / it's okay, I'm blind, because I understand and you can say whatever you want. as far as blindness, because some people are like, I don't want to offend you. I said, can you see that? And I'm like, guys, I understand. I'm blind. You can say you can see it. It's okay. Or bye, I can see. I'll see you later. It's like, that's cool. It's cool. I won't get offended. You know, so if I offend you because you're blind, I'm sorry. But that's just me. So if I do pull any good ones, I'll let you know. Like, I really want to do the fake fish with people. Just because I want to do an experiment. I want to see how many people are really, like, legitimately serious. One of the really cool ones I want to do, because I want to go into OT and rehabilitation, so I kind of want to see, like, societal's fear of blindness, and so I want to do an experiment, and this might be my capstone project for a senior thing. I want to do a project on colors. Because I've always been interested in colors. So I want to see how sighted people would describe colors to a blind person. And I want to see how the response would differ from a sighted person asking a sighted person, how would you describe colors to a blind person? And then me, being blind, or another blind person, asking a sighted person, how would you describe colors to a blind person? Excuse me. And how their results would differ whenever they were facing a blind person or a sighted person, because they don't want to offend a blind person by saying, it's like blue and green. Because I've had people say, oh, well, it's like the color of the sky. But then they're like, oh, wait, you can't see the sky, So that's my video on, well, it kind of jumped around, on offending people and people in general. Yeah, so thank you all for watching. And once again, sorry if I offended you all, but, that's how it is. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to the world. Offending people in the world. Yay. That's me, apparently. So, woo. Getting my name out there on YouTube and social media, I guess, because YouTube is kind of like social media. This kind of reminds me of, like, Molly Burke, because she made a video a while back on lie detector tests, I guess, on if she's faking her blindness, and it's really good. People kept commenting about how she's faking it and all this, and I was like, okay, sure, she's faking it. But, no matter what you do, people are always going to fake it, or not fake it, they're going to think you're faking it. So, I don't care what y'all think. I'm legit, seriously not faking my blindness. If you want proof, like, go ask my doctors, they're serious. If I was not faking it, I would totally, like, I wouldn't have this.
It is 8:51 a.m.
I would just glance at the clock up there, and I would be seeing Christmas trees, because I can't see the trees right now. I can't see lights, which is really bothering me. Yeah, so if I were, like, not blind, I wouldn't be going through all this, like, making this video and walking with a cane, because honestly my tip broke the week before. Like, my last final of the day, I was walking and my tip broke on my cane. So it wouldn't have taken me half an hour to get to the building. I would have just walked over without a cane, which I would not have done if I was, not blind. So yeah, that's my video. So thank you all for watching, and have a good, I don't know what it is in whatever time you're watching this. So good evening, day, morning, Christmas, after Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, spring break, I don't know. Happy 2019. So thank you all, and goodbye.